This is another, I don't know, we can't call it a mystery kit because we know what it is, but it's another bizarro kit I'd never seen before. Would this be considered a stencil brand? It's
kind of,
okay,
in my opinion. So this is, it's an old Deri kit.
Deri. That's D-E-R-I?
Yes. So the funny thing was, when I got this kit, I'd never heard of them. And I thought it was like Sari or something because the D is kind of like script.
Oh, they've got the logo in the thumb screws for the bass drum.
And I was like trying to figure out like what? There's nothing on the internet about these drums. And then I realized it was a D.
It does not look like a D.
Yeah, Deri, they, again, not an expert on this particular brand, but from what I was able to gather, they were made in West Germany. So...
Okay, I would have guessed Sonar, just walking in the room.
They got the kind of German type
so that makes sense, yeah.
Kind of the round over, stick savers type hoops. You got the old, your favorite.
I hate the slotted rods.
Slotted rods, yep.
The worst thing ever.
And they were made by a company called Tromsø. I think it's Tromsø. And from what I gather, they were kind of, they used to have these companies that would like own, I guess like Selmer might have been one, but like they own like various brands, right? So Tromsø, I think, did drums under Roxy was the like big imprint.
Okay.
And then Deri was another one. And from what I think, they were made to compete against the Japanese stencil drums, but they're better. We have the head off this drum. You can see on the inside, I'm sure you can, there's nice dust from the muffler that was 9,000 years old. They're beech shells. They got beech rings here.
Not Luan mahogany, so it's already an instant upgrade, right?
Yeah. Just overall better lugs. I mean, I think I wouldn't call them stencil, but they were definitely designed to compete with that. I love how you get some of these older drums, you can see where they were like measuring out where to put the lugs, the little pencil marks.
Oh, yeah.
Also the world's flattest sparing edge. That's your thing. So we were trying to like demo this, and the kit has all original heads on it, and they're real thin. Frankly, couldn't get it to sound great. So we changed out, there was one unoriginal head on the rack tom, and we got it to sound okay, but it was rattling, so we took the muffler off. So that's kind of what...
Yeah, that muffler is completely dry rotted.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not doing anything
great.
Except buzzing inside the drum.
So we took it off. I mean, I think the floor tom has a muffler. I think the snare drum has a muffler.
Bass drum has like a weird lever muffler with a twist knob. I'm not sure what that does. Does that do anything?
We call that the twist knob lever muffler. Try saying that 10 times fast.
Does it make it go like up and down? I don't even know.
I think if you twist it, it moves it in and out. Maybe it's like a micro adjustment, I think.
Yeah, I mean, cool, but gosh, if this was my kit, that would come off there immediately.
Germans are like really good at engineering. If you look at some of the 80s Sonar drums, it's like a feat of,
spectacular. I mean, you've got this.
I don't know how they don't have people on Mars already.
Well, what year is this?
Probably a 70s kit, maybe late 60s. Story behind the kit, nothing special. I got it off a guy who got it from a music store in New Jersey. And he said, hey, listen, the music store this came from, it's where Joe Morello taught.
Oh, is this?
So this could be
Russo's?
Joe's kit. It wasn't Russo's.
I mean,
I don't know the name.
Oh, man.
It's not Joe Morello's kit.
Glenn Webster owned the place.
Might have been it. But it's, the guy who owned it actually got the name.
Oh, he said that Joe might have played it. Just might have his.
Well, I don't know. It's that. Who cares?
It might have been where he gave lessons.
Yeah. Stuart Kaufman has put like a little tag on the drums here. So, Stuart.
Wow. We should have looked him up first.
Yeah, got him on the podcast. Probably more interesting than me. Other cool things. So one thing that's interesting is, I don't know if you guys can see, but this has like a 3/4 inch inlay on it.
Big inlay.
But it's not an inlay.
Oh.
It's a veneer. So when we got the kit in, I took the claws off and it just came off. So this is like a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/8 inch veneer. We had to re-glue on
the
there.
whole thing, the black and the,
it's all veneer.
The sparkle.
Which is, again, probably another like cost-cutting thing. We're missing the tom arm here, which looks like it was a very reliable tom arm.
I love it. They just use whatever. I mean, he spent the time to like die cast these, but then you get this, whatever this was.
So, friends at friends at Nelson Drum Shop, Bryson and Lem, they had a Deri kit, and it was like wild. It was kind of like a trick sign kit, and it had like a big oblong bass drum, like some weird toms on like a. I think Matt Chamberlain bought it, but it was also a Deri. This is the only other one I've seen. So, you want to show them the snare drum? How weird that thing is on there?
Again, it looks like a sonar from first glance to me.
So it's you probably can't see this, unfortunately, but there's 3 rods in there, and it's kind of like a parallel system, but it's not, and it's really not that great. It kind of works. You do this thing here, and this moves it down, and then there's like a micro adjustment here. And on the other side, there's another adjustment. But it's got like these kind of janky, strings on there.
It's weird. That's an over-engineered system.
Yeah, it's not great. But it's cool. I guess it's a cool idea.
So both sides of the butt plate and the throw are connected by a rod that goes all the way, 3 rods that go all the way through the drum.
And what's weird is, like, if you see these on American drums, if it's like a parallel system, there's some sort of like mechanism on both sides that holds extended wires, so they go up and down equally. So I guess that's kind of the idea.
Interesting.
Original stay bill plastic drum heads. It's like got a fake kind of coating on it to make it look like it's white, which it's definitely not.
It's just like a dusting of coating.
Yeah, dusting of coating. Sounds like a Bright Eyes album.
Quite an interesting kit.
Yeah, so this is, if you put like some time into it, like put some better heads on it, and maybe get the edges. Edges are factory, but maybe get them sharpened up. You probably have a cool kit. Oh, one other thing. This is 12x9 tom.
Yeah, that looks like a deep boy.
Yeah, usually they're 12x8, but again, I think we had that mystery kit that was a deep rack tom. Wasn't that one? Remember the one that was like foil we were talking about 2 podcasts ago?
I don't know.
But kind of another neat thing. So.
It had a 15. I remember that, right?
Yeah.
So this is a deep, is that 16 by 16?
Yeah, 16 by 16. 2014, 912, 16 by 16. I think this is a 4.5 by 14 snare drum.
I often wonder, were they just like looking at pictures and guessing? Like, I guess that's what we'll make. Were there no samples of what a drum set is?
Well, I think, I don't know the first thing about drum making. But I think the way now, like, there are machines that do all like that, but like it's really interesting. Like we talked about seeing some of like the hand marking on the drums. Like this stuff used to be made by hand by a guy.
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, right.
Gary who worked at Trom set.
Gary from Deri. Yeah, the re-rings are really kind of odd.
Like Gary's having a bad day or whatever. He's hungover and like, marks it in the wrong spot, and it's Friday, and he wants to go drink beer with his buddies. Who cares?
Yeah, you know what I mean? A 12x9 instead of a 12x8.
Yeah, I had a standard. We did that standard segment. I had a standard snare drum, I think I told you one time. And I got it in, and it sounded horrible. And I'm like, what's going on with this? And I took the top head off, and they drilled the bearing edges on the wrong side.
You had the snare beds on the top?
It was the snare beds on both sides. So like, it's kind of, I don't know, I think it's like, obviously that's not good, but I think it's kind of neat, just like making stuff by hand and,
it's like
the machinery.
The old, the baseball cards that had the error cards.
The error card, the blem.
The blems.
Except all the drums are blem.
The real Billy Ripken, remember that one? Are you too young for that?
Billy Ripken. What year
his rookie card, no, it's been like 88. Someone had put F-face on the butt of his bat. He didn't know it.
Oh my God.
And they printed it.
That's absolutely incredible.
Then they had to go back and do a bunch of edits. But yeah, you can still find the F-face Billy Ripken rookie
that guy got fired.
So this isn't quite an F-face.
No.
But
yeah, it's cool. We're going to try to get it tuned up and do a demo to see if we can get it sounding. But there's not a whole lot you can do with stable plastic heads, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so your tendency is to leave it and let the customer decide, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of, most of the heads were original. Like, may as well leave it like it is. If it takes heads and people can know, we can just put new heads on it. I don't think it's a big deal. Some people like to hear videos. I mean, but not to get down the video rabbit hole. We could do a video and then you get it in your house. It sounds completely different.
Right, of
but
course.
Yeah, just kind of like part of the story, good old Stuart Kaufman.
That's it. Deri drums. First I've ever seen. Let's see what it sounds like.
Here we go.